Good morning. We're at the Hilton Hotel in beautiful downtown Omaha, across the street, as you can perhaps tell, from the Quest Center, where we're having the Berkshire Hathaway stockholders annual meeting of what we call a monetary feeding frenzy. And we're now going to take questions from the men and women, business owners out on the street. And first off, we've got a question from Jeff.
My question is, in the current recession, what is the time period when you're looking to see job creation and like more of a decrease in the decline in jobs, and whether energy prices are going to be seen to be going up anytime soon?
I'll take that one. I think, to paraphrase Lao Tzu, those who know do not say, those who say do not know. We don't really know when this thing's going to turn around. However, I do think there's a lot of momentum there. I am expecting the final quarter of 2009, which is when the economy is going to turn around. Now, we're not going to see job gains to any significant extent to 2010. Now, Jeff also asked, as you heard, Tony, he asked about energy prices. What do you see there?
Well, Jeff, I think that you're going to see the costs go up. I mean, this administration has proposed a thing called cap and trade. Mm-hmm. Their plan and their strategy is for energy prices to go up. They believe that we actually spend too much money on energy and we waste energy, and the way their strategy to get us to consume more is actually to drive the prices up somewhat and consume less, excuse me, is to drive the prices up to force us to kind of change our behavior because of the prices. Now, the underlying thing there, I think, is that they believe, by and large, the people that support that policy are what I think are mostly East Coast, West Coast people. They're not here from the heartland. Where we are. And they think that more people ought to avail themselves to public transportation. Why
Which
aren't
we
taking
don't have
the
much of.
subway, the train, etc. And I think that that's problematic because they don't understand the types of commutes and the types of the expansive part of the West and the Midwest that we have.
Yeah.
Where people, it's not untypical for people to travel 25, 30 miles to commute.
To work. Back and forth
to work.
Or even 50 to 100 miles. I mean, if you're out west, if you're outside the metropolitan areas, we're in the metro areas.
Absolutely. And so people west of here, especially in outstate Nebraska, the Dakotas, Wyoming, places, people that will actually see our broadcast and watch our show.
It's seen globally, Tony. Come on now. But you know, here we go. Here's a tax that our Mr. Buffett has opposed to. Okay, right. Finally a tax he does not support, right, and he's opposed to. And why is that? Of course, this is one that he has to pay. So right. I don't mean to be hard on the guy, but he has come out against this one. It's one of the few taxes he has come out against. Well, let's turn to our next question, Tony.
My question is, I'm not one of those wealthy, rich people, but I'm just wondering what I need to do, maybe to invest money, or, how should I spend my money? Okay,
Lindsay wants to know where she should invest her money. Okay, as I've said in previous broadcasts, previous podcasts, I think you need to be in something protected against inflation. That would be Treasury inflation-protected securities. I'm buying international as well. I'm staying away from bonds. Okay, we're not to stay away from U.S. Treasury bonds. The volatility there has picked up a lot. If you want, well, who wants to lose a lot of money? If you really want some risk, get into U.S. Treasuries. What are you seeing, Tony, in terms of where should Lindsay be putting her money?
Lindsay, you're young, and if I were young, I would invest in myself. I'd invest in my education, things that would enhance my earning potential in the future. One of the things about education is that the differential between a high school diploma and a college education continues to grow in terms of the lifetime earnings power potential of the college degree. So it continues to be a good investment. Most people are concerned about the cost of education rising, especially as compared to, let's say, a consumer price index or other inflationary indicators, but it's because its return on investment continues to provide a greater return.
What about 401ks? Should she be stocking some money away when she has the potential, when she's working?
When she has the potential. If I were you, Lindsay, though, I would put money into my own abilities to make more money in the future.
Okay. Now, here we have a question from Tia.
I graduate from high school next year, and if I just was wondering if I was going to be able to get student loans for college.
That's down our alley, right, Tony? I mean, I think the government, of course, has announced, the Obama administration, that they're taking over some of the student loan programs. So it's going to be a lot more money, of course, at the taxpayer expense.
Right. I think the answer for Tia is absolutely. You'll be able to get that money. It'll be available, and it'll be more abundant. You're absolutely correct, though, Ernie. The administration has said that they're actually going to reduce the amount of participation of major banks in providing those loans, and the administration will do that.
So we're going to get taxpayers increasing costs. Okay, let's turn to another question here, and this question comes from Dwayne.
My question is, as a small business person, I'm trying to get a bank loan, and I find it impossible, and yet the banks seem to have money and they seem to be making profits. Why is that?
Okay, Dwayne's a small business owner and he's trying to get a loan, and I hear this all the time, Tony. In other words, they got lots of money out there. The Fed's pouring it out on the street practically. We got helicopter Ben dropping money from helicopters, but businesses can't get the loans. In other words, the interest rates are low for many large business borrowers. But what about Dwayne there?
You know, this is a complex answer, but I think it's to the heart of what the real situation is. It's a lack of confidence in the economy. Lenders, bankers, and people that have money are very conservative, and they're concerned about the risk that they would assume by lending you money. If I'm lending you money, I want to make sure that you're going to pay it back, and then I'm going to get some type of premium for getting that back.
Right.
And they're consistently concerned about lack of confidence. If I'm not confident, I'm not going to loan you money. What's underlying some of that confidence is when the rules change. And right now we have
uncertainty.
We have a lot of uncertainty
in
the marketplace. And so I think sometimes it's even our government that's putting in that uncertainty by changing
what is
rules.
it Ogden Nash said? Woe be to the banker that lends to someone who needs it. In other words, you're only lending to those who don't need it. Demonstrate to me that you don't need the loan, I'll get you the loan.
Right.
Okay, let's turn to our next question, and this comes from Bruce.
Has the government done too much or too little to help the economy recover?
You and I, we've been singing this practically. Yes, they've done too much. You're digging a hole, quit dig. You're in a hole, you've dug yourself in a hole, quit digging.
I think the answer to Bruce's question is both. They've done too much of the wrong thing and too little of the right thing. Again, I'm going to go back to the certainty issue and to the issue of confidence. I think that what the government needs to do is create a stable, dependable environment in which lending can occur, which will jumpstart our economy. And that's not going to happen as long as the rules continue to change. I'll give you an example. This week, many of the major banks have raised their interest rates on credit cards because they've taken a real beating here in the financial downturn. And so they've raised those rates. Now they did that because they have the right to do it. People, when you signed a credit card application, you gave them the right by signing the application that they would do that. And they've raised the rates. Now many people have said, well, that's unfair that they've done that, and they've complained to their congressman. And recently we've seen congressional leaders say, we're going to stop that. Well, as they stop that, it's actually going to add some uncertainty.
We got to go here, Tony. So thank you for joining us for this segment of Mid-American Money, coming to you from the beautiful Hilton Hotel in downtown Omaha, Nebraska, across the street from the Quest Center, where the Berkshire Hathaway stockholders have come for their usual annual trek, for this monetary feeding frenzy. Thank you.